Reverend Diaz?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the committee, on behalf of myself and the colleagues of and the pastoral leadership at the Cathedral of Hope United Church of Christ in Dallas, Texas, I testify today in opposition of Senate Bill 6. As one of the pastors of an inclusive congregation, it is our mission to reclaim Christianity as a faith of radical inclusion. And so what that means is we hold the value and the sacred worth of every person to be very important in our faith. To us, Jesus said in our traditions and in our scriptures, how you treat the least of these, you also treat me. And as a pastor, I've had to learn quite a bit about what it means to treat and to radically welcome our trans siblings. When I thought we as a church were very welcoming in some of our practices, we had good intentions. Yes, we did. And thankfully, we had people in our congregation, our trans congregants, who had the courage to come up, confront us, and talk to us, and tell us that even though we had the best intentions in some of our practices, it was still impacting the trans community in a negative way. For instance, when I misgendered people in church, I thought it wasn't that big of a deal, that I would be forgiven. And talking with my trans congregants and people in the community, it was a big deal. When I misgendered them, I also didn't acknowledge their gender identity. I dehumanized them. And dehumanizing people is always a big deal. Thankfully, that's not what Jesus did. I realize that religion is very important to every single one of us, not all of us. I also recognize that. Our scriptures tell us to love our neighbor, to love God. Our scriptures do not say to discriminate against our neighbor. We've heard a lot about common sense today, and as a pastor and a follower of Jesus, I believe in common sense. But senators, ignorance is not common sense, and ignorance is not a reason to continue to marginalize members of the trans community. Please, I understand your intent. Please consider the impact of SB 6. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you to this panel. Call up the next.